Welcome back, family and friends, to another episode of Laclede Relics. I'm your host and historian, Eric Tudor. Today we're flipping back the pages of our downtown history to celebrate our new location here at Ozark Fiber and Lebanon Now's recording studio. Thanks to this partnership, earlier this year we are at 119 West Commercial, so let's dive right into the history of then and now. We start back in 1876 when W.H. Owen Sr., one of Lebanon's most influential businessmen, as he charters the St. Louis Company store. And he builds the first structure on this site in 1880, at that time a 3-story building. But in 1904, he sells it to W.P. Hooker and J. Vernon, partners in the firm. Now it was later resold in the 1920s to Dr. J.B. Atchley. Then on February 28, 1922, temperatures in Lebanon began to drop far below freezing, and the building caught fire.
Lebanon Rustic Republican, March 2nd, 1922. The fire was discovered about 2 o'clock and an alarm turned in and the powerhouse whistle blown. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, a second alarm was sounded a few minutes later. The fire had gained such a headway that the firefighters turned their attention to saving the buildings on either side and stopping the spread of the flames. After a 3-hour fight, it was thought that the fire was under control, but the fire was found under the double roof of the Palmer Furniture Company building, and the third alarm was blown. After an hour's hard fight by the workers, the fire was subdued, but not until the second floor had been flooded with 3 or 4 inches of water. The St. Louis store placed the loss at about $35,000.
The cause of the fire is uncertain, but speculated someone tossed a cigarette or a cigar into the wooden box of the stair landing on the second floor. After the fire, the vacant lot was sold back to W.P. Hooker and later to J. Ward Owen, the son of the original W.H. Owen founder. Now, Mr. Owen pushed forth with his family's dream of the St. Louis store and started rebuilding by April 27, 1922. The new building was completed July 20, 1922, and soon reopened, bearing still on the front of the name today as the St. Louis store. As part of the grand opening, the American Legion hosted a dance accompanied by a full orchestra on the ground floor. Now, after the rebuilding, there came various shops that came and gone, renting portions of the second floor, such as doctors' offices, a dressmaking business, and a millinery, which is a woman's garment shop. In 1923, it was purchased by the Burley brothers. Ralph E. Burley, former dry goods manager at Clark Brothers store just down the street, along with his brother Claude B. Burley. Now, they merged the names at first as the St. Louis Burley Brothers store, then later going by just the Burley Brothers up until about the 1980s. In the 1990s, Grandmother's Attic, a flea market, and in 2011 to 2016, Downtown Treasures, another flea market, opened, calling this building their home. The building then fell vacant for several years until purchased by Danny and April True. Then in 2022, Axe Attack, an axe throwing business, was opened on the site by former pastor Jeff Henson until 2024. The building was then sold to Ozark Fiber. In January of 2025, Ozark Fiber partnered with Ryan Shear, allowing us the upstairs of the building for Ozark Fiber Studios, becoming Lebanon's first real television recording studio of its kind, known as Lebanon Now. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Laclede Relics. If you would, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Until next time, I'm Eric Tudor, your host and historian, along with producer and editor extraordinaire Ryan Shear.